Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Camo Dude Gaming from Camo Nation, coming to you guys live. This is something brand new. This is going to be the first episode, kind of us revisiting and looking on the past and the present and the future with our good colleagues that have gotten us to the point that we are kind of at. That being said, I don't think there's anywhere better to start than with the person who got us involved in the social media game, the YouTube game, the Twitch game, all of that kind of broadcasting and outreach, than the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Legends, aka Indie Legends, or Blood, as you all know him from our streams. Blood, how are you doing today?
Good.
So kind of like how I tuned in about it, you got us started on it. Do you remember what game we met on by chance?
Yeah, I remember what game.
Oh,
I
what
remember
game was
what
it?
game we was playing. We met Friday the first.
Yep. It was Friday the 13th. It was like my third attempt at like playing online games. Was playing with high school friends. Kept running into you throughout the map and said, "Fuck it, this guy's really cool. We're just gonna follow him everywhere." Continuously played with you. You were one of the first people that were a friend on PlayStation. We sent you an invite every time we were playing Friday the 13th. You joined us, and then we met TD, or I met TD through that process, and we all played Friday the 13th together. And then that kind of started it. And from there we went to Siege. We met Hale, but I think it was even before we met Hale. It was you and I doing a butt ton of stupid shit in Friday the 13th, wasn't it?
Yeah, doing Friday the 13th video, making up stories and
That's
making up
right.
our own little story videos.
Yeah, we were making
Yeah.
police. It was around Halloween time. They released the police officer outfits for the guy that we used.
Wearing the
And
hot pink.
yeah, the hot pink short shorts and crop top
We were
kind of.
twinsies.
We were twinsies, and we were just making up stories about us being caught like failed shitty cops that had just arrived on the
Yeah.
situation. we that was also the day that we hit really bad lag, and we were just killing. I was killing everyone on accident through the car and shit.
Yeah.
It was fun times. I think it was. We also did the video where we did the Easter egg of us unmasking Jason.
Yeah.
I think what started it was my stupid ass idea to be Jason and just play the electric slide consistently. So I'd travel to you guys and just start like matching. I'd match the movements for the electric slide, and anyone who didn't do the electric slide was like instantly killed and gunned down, basically. I think it was that was the projected first video that we had done it.
Yeah. We've done several videos like that. The videos were actually, some of them were pretty freaking hilarious. Some of them were goofy as hell, but I thought that, I thought they were funny. I thought they were great. You know
Oh,
what I
that.
mean? They were stupid and goofy, but that was kind of the point, right?
Yeah, we always were known to do stupid shit like that, like the Ark series where we were like Dodo Island, the Adventures of Dodo Island, and the Sea Adventure and all that shit. Just the weirdness and quite just strangeness that was brought to the table most of the time we had done it. I do pay like a lot of respect to you because it wasn't when it was the electric slide video. I remember going to you and was like, let's do this as a video, and you're like, I'm not quite so sure about doing that. And I was like, well, I want to do it. Let's do it. And you were like, well, why don't you do it yourself? And I was like, why the fuck don't I do that for myself? And then you had hooked me up with the knowledge of how to create the channel, how to kind of do the background stuff for it, the uploading, the inspiration for the videos, as well as providing the content for it. Julian did give me the editing, but then like you kind of slightly showed me what should be edited, and from there we learned. But honestly, I think if it wasn't for you just like that night going, I don't want to do this, I don't think we would even be here as a channel for Camo Dude Gaming, a channel for Camo Nation, any of that. It all falls back down to that day of us meeting in Friday the 13th. You consistently being a dick as the killer, and us just doing some really stupid things. In Friday the 13th, that was the like encouraging push to like start doing YouTube and eventually evolving into Twitch.
Yeah. It was fun, man. I mean, we made a lot of videos.
We
A lot
made
of videos.
enough to
I saw
have
the see, we did so many videos together.
so many.
And I mean, I think I have over 400 videos on my YouTube channel. No, that's not really a lot, but it is a lot for somebody that doesn't upload all the time, like me. But like sometimes I go back and I'll watch like when we did the Way Out series together. I mean, I thought that to me is great, man. I think people missed out by not watching us play that game. I mean, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and it is one of those things where we've gotten a lot of the stuff happening, and it's been a overall like just fun time. I remember when I think it was we hit was it I think it was 50 followers or 100. I think it was 100 followers, 50 videos, or it was at least we did 50 videos or 100 videos. We had we had we had gone and done the transitional video. You have 415 videos on YouTube, just FYI. But we had did that compilation video where it was just like every single video that we had. I think it was like 50. I went through 50 of our videos, and I remember the
Yeah.
hardest part of that was watching all these like episodes and going, this was a good part, but this one was better, and then taking like only one bit of that video and throwing it into this compilation video. And I just remember like the end result being something like so crazy funny and just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it was something.
I think that's that was pretty much like one of my oh excuse me, that was like one of my favorite things, man, about like doing YouTube stuff was just all the going back and looking at the videos and editing, taking bits and pieces out of all these videos we were doing. I mean, God, man, how many countless hours do you record?
We
You
I
know,
and that's the thing
so
too, is there's still we like I still have all the dead islands that I'm still editing and processing through to re-upload, because we had taken a break and then came back and redid it. Not redid it, but continued it, and there's still all that footage that hasn't even been released. There's the countless hours of you when you started streaming on YouTube, and then I slightly started streaming on YouTube, of us playing hockey. It's been what, I think maybe 4, 5 years of us being friends, like damn near.
yeah,
It has been high school. There's been from high school to graduation to me doing college math homework in between Rainbow Six Siege lesson, like rounds of me being dead and going, "Oh, you guys got this. Fucking X equals 2 + 4 or some stupid shit." And going, "Oh, I'm alive again. Okay, cool. We're gonna do this." And then from there to the military and then back. Even now, like we with these Wednesdays that we have on our stream schedule of us just reconnecting with you and getting these videos, like these Wednesdays that we're doing, I don't even follow the statistics for it. Like there are times where like I'll check the statistics of our videos, but when it comes to our like Wednesday videos with you, it's like, man, fuck that. This was fun as shit, funny as hell, just like the tormenting and everything. But it has been something crazy, especially when we had hail, we added it, we've done hockey, we've done so much. And I think we had even planned for a lot of different game series. There were so many hours we sunk into doing YouTube together and just sending messages while going, oh, I think we should do this. Well, maybe we should do this. And then just kind of like revamping and trying to process it for both of our channels. And then the collaborations, of course.
Yeah, and I think what you got going on now with the Twitch and stuff is kind of probably suit. I think what you got going on with the Twitch and stuff and everything fits you a lot better than YouTube format. You know, I think you do a lot better with your presentation and stuff and everything else. And I mean, I'm always quite impressed with, you know, how your Twitch setup and stuff and everything, man. Like you put a lot of work into it, dude, and it's really good.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a transition. We had like a rough start because for Twitch we had switched into doing Twitch in the schoolhouse back in 29 Palms, California. The setup was literally like one of those gaming cases that you can put a console in. It was literally at the foot of my bed. It was a gaming case flipped open, a PlayStation 4 Pro in it, and then the TV screen. And that was how like our Twitch was started. it
You
was it
gotta start
was
somewhere, right?
not good. Like it was not good quality at all, and it was probably like the worst conditions. But we struggled. We got our good percentage of followers, and we came back. We met with Julian. Julian was at that time. Julian had switched from YouTube to Twitch, and I had looked at Twitch and seen it was a little bit more my style. So we went to Twitch, talked with Julian, and got that set up. From there, we started streaming, small of course, and from there it kind of just it we grinded, and it's very much like a whole second job. Like this is completely for fun. We love it. We do this strictly for fun to build a connection, a community. But like if you want this to be a serious thing, it has gotta be taken serious in aspects. It can't be done kind of like willy-nilly half-assed. Like you can, but if you want to make it big like the big ones like Pokemon, Amaranth, Ninja, all of those guys, you've got to like just treat it with you got to like come at it like you're having fun, but you've got to put in the work and effort and realize that this is a lot of work. You've got to sink time into it.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I think that's kind of like one of the things that I always talk about too. You know, like when I'm talking about with some of the guys from the website and stuff and everything. We talk about YouTube and everything, and I'm always like, man, it's crazy how much time and effort you have to actually put into it. Like, unless you actually do it, and if you're just throwing a video up on YouTube, of course that doesn't take any time. If you're just recording something and throwing it up there. But all the editing and everything else, man, behind it and everything, man. I mean, I would spend, oh my God, I would spend so many hours. I mean, I was lucky enough because I would take my laptop with me to work. And like on my breaks and my lunchtime and stuff, and even like on our even on our downtime like that,
Yep.
I would have my laptop out and I would just go through videos to get like clips and stuff and stuff that I'm gonna edit it and everything. I would do all that and it would take me hours and hours and hours to put together like a what, like a 45-minute video or
Yeah, it
something.
was
You know
it
what I
was
mean?
crazy. When we were doing YouTube, when YouTube was the main focus, I remember especially like in college, it was I would wake up, you do the homework, I'd walk to school, go to my first class, and any time in between classes, I was at like the chill game, relax room kind of scenario, and it was laptop out, either editing it or like having it processed. And I remember like the editing software I had when it came to like exporting it took so fucking long. It would take like hours on hours on hours compared to like our new editing software, which takes like, oh, congrats, you wanted to edit a 2 hour video, here's it in 14 minutes. The other
Yeah,
one it
yeah,
would be like, you want
exactly.
to do a 30-minute video? Okay, cool. You're looking at a 6 hour export time. So you would have on my laptop, I would have three versions of the editing software open, one being edited and like two currently exporting and trying to get it there. And it was just so much work. And then you have to like, you don't want to spend 2 hours, because then the worst part is for us, we used to stream, we used to like why, like especially in the Dead Island series and everything, we used to record for hours and hours and hours. And so now we've got this like 5 6 hour clip, and now we've got to condense that down into 10 minutes, and you're like, well, you don't have time to watch another, you don't have time to watch that whole 6 hour clip, so you're either fast forwarding it and making it so that way you sound high pitched and sped up, so it's only, instead of 5 hours, it's 2.5, or just trying anything, or you're skimming through, skipping parts. You're like, okay, 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 just trying to see the funny parts. And even like now, because we're kind of dabbling, trying to dabble back into the YouTube scene a little bit. It's even now, it's still like a tedious task, and for people who are like us, who are working full-time jobs outside of this, because this is still considered just a passion instead of like a full-time like can take over job, it is hard. It is okay, well, I'm sacrificing sleep, I'm sacrificing food, I'm sacrificing getting to try out the new game. And I know for you currently it is like, it is extremely hard for you because you're getting these indie games. You've got to get this indie game, you've got to play it as much as you physically can, get it reviewed, write the script, get the clips, edit that together, get it processed, post it to YouTube, and you've got to get that all in a time frame to the point where the game is still relevant or not even out yet, so that way people kind of flock to you. And that is like the ultimate procrastinator's like challenge right there. So I don't know how you do it, but props to you for doing it that way.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why I haven't done a review in like 3 months. Because it really is. I mean, when you got a full-time job and stuff,
Hmm.
man, and you know you got a family and you get a game, and normally I'll get a game, and I'm
Sorry
I'm
about that.
lucky. I'm lucky if I have like 5 days to beat the game. I'm lucky,
Yeah.
you know, and I beat the games that I play.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
you from what, and like I can kind of like from our perspective, because there was like when you first started doing the indie games and you were like starting to make it big, and like they were starting, like the indie companies were finally looking at you like, oh, this is a like Indie Legends is coming. We send him the game. Let's let him review it. I remember like when that first took off for you, and it wasn't just writing columns on the website anymore that you on the PlayStation Bros website. I
Hmm.
remember it was like let's play games, guys, and it was like blood, and it was like can't reviewing game, blood can't reviewing game, blood can't reviewing game. And so it was like, okay, hell, TD, we're playing Call of Duty, I guess. And then it was like it literally turned into like the Uncle Legends name kind of became like honestly kind of like literal for a bit. It was like that uncle who showed up every now and then and was like, "Hey kids," and we're like, "Uncle Legend, you're back. How was work? How was the indie game?" And you're like, "Oh, this was good. This was great." And we're like, we'll have to try that at some point." And then next thing you know, like we had you for like a week, and then another indie game was like, review, and you'd be like, "Fuck, damn it."
Yeah, yeah, that was a time there for a little while, man, where I was getting them. I was getting
You were
indie games
getting you were getting them
pretty
stacked too.
regular.
You were getting
Yeah,
them
yeah.
regularly. You were getting multiple at a time. It
That was the
was
worst thing that I ever did was took on two at one time. I was like, "You're an idiot, dude. That was so stupid. What's wrong with you?"
yeah, and it's kind of like going into what we're doing now is you're now on YouTube. Your primary fix from the short videos, the stupid videos, the compilation videos, the EXE videos that we used to do. You've kind of switched from being Blood Legends, pushing into a passion and kind of focusing on one section, focusing in on the indie games pathway itself, which is for some people hard to like focus in on like one genre of game, but you've gone ahead and you've done it, and it is done from what I'm seeing. It's done nothing but wonders. You're focusing on a type of game genre that you like. You're not like selling yourself to the trendy games, the big games. You're sticking to the games that don't really give the light, and you're shining a spotlight on it, and it's working wonders for you. You want to kind of like delve into that and why you made the switch, or what what caused you to fully make that switch and focus in on that?
Into indie games, well, I mean, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I just at the time when I was writing all this stuff for the website and everything, I mean, it was the majority of it was about indie games already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of just that was kind of where I wanted to go with it. You know, I just wanted to do more stuff about indie games because I was finding back then when I first started doing it, I had a lot more time on my hands.
Yeah.
And so I would just go down hole after hole and just like, digging for all these games that I'd never heard of. And I'm finding all these games that I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. This is so cool, and playing all these indie games that were just great, and nobody's talking about them. Like nobody's talking about them. I'm like, dude, what the hell? You'd hear
Yeah.
like, of course, I follow a whole bunch of indie people and stuff, So
Yeah.
I would hear every once in a while, something would pop up. They would, somebody would play this game or play that game, and so I was just like, you know what? I want that's what I want to do because I play all these games anyways. So
And
let me
there
just focus on this, and it kind of put me on a path to, I guess, be the indie guy,
the indie
So
guy. And I think like I give you credit for like starting the YouTube career, but I also give you like tremendous credit. Like you don't realize it, but like the my number one favorite game probably Mountain Blade, just the Mountain Blade series. You could call it an indie game, you could not call it an indie game. It's not well known really that much.
yeah,
It's not talked about, but I remember you were like, "Yeah, I heard about this game, and it's got a multiplayer. It looks pretty cool. Let's try it." And I remember like you and I trying to do the multiplayer and it not working. And then we're like, "Oh, well, let's
yeah,
just play the campaign." And then we're like, "Oh, the campaign's single player." And then the campaign wasn't your type of style of game, but it was my type of style of game.
yeah.
And it
I
is
mean, I've
probably one of
played
my
some
favorite fucking
great.
games now.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with indie games, man, is there's just so many different types out there, and the one thing that I've always the one thing that I've always really said about it, and one thing that I love about indie games is the fact that indie developers take these risks, you know. And I know there's people out there like, no, they don't take risks and stuff. They can't afford to, but they do, you know. They
Hmm.
create they get so creative with these games, you know, and it can make them so odd and but so beautiful at the same time, man. Like there's just I don't know. There's just the indie games out there that are just like mind blowing. You know that I just love. I love to play them.
Hmm.
And then I mean, I've other people that have played those games have been like, "Oh, that was crap," you know. But I loved it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's just indie games are for some people, and some people just don't like them.
I remember, what was it? We streamed Moons of Madness. And I remember like feeling like egg on my face that one day because you had reviewed Moons of Madness when I was back in boot camp and in the schoolhouse. So I did not know you had reviewed it. And I remember buying Moons of Madness because I heard it was like a good horror. And like I had watched some clips. I was like, this looks fucking good. I was like, why is no one talking about this? I've not heard anything about this? And I remember playing Moons of Madness. We streamed it. It was a great stream. It was one of like our amazing horror streams. Terrifying puzzles, not too terrifying. And I remember finishing it, playing both endings, finishing it, and then like going into our group chat and being like, Blood, you should check out Moons of Madness. It is like a cool game. It's a pretty indie game, not many people working. And then I just remember you like, your response was like the legitimate YouTube link to the video of you reviewing it. I was like, fuck. Because I was like, now I seem like a dickish friend because I didn't know he reviewed it. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh. But no, we are like, as much as you're tuning into us, we are like, we're tuning into you every time you're posting videos. Like a lot of the times, like what was it when you did your goal for this year? That video came out. I remember I was in the racks of work. Hopefully nobody from work is watching this. I ain't do this. But I was in the racks and I was on my phone and then the notification had popped to my phone. I was like, fuck it, I need something besides white noise. Like I need something in the background. So I remember playing that. I remember you had streamed another game on YouTube. Joined that stream on YouTube to watch it, even though I was like 10 minutes behind. Still watched it. I'd comment something and you guys would be like 10 minutes in the future like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I was like, oh, my bad, guys. But it ultimately was like, it's something that we've seen you doing wonders with. You're doing amazing at it. It's great, and I think for you it's the best part for you now is you have made your name in this industry, not only with the people looking for indie games and that little like small community of people looking for the indie games, but now with, especially I think with Twitch, a lot of the big name Twitch people are looking for indie games. We're getting these weird but small indie games that typically would not see the normal light of day. But now we've got big streamers kind of delving in to play these games, and now it's bringing light, and it's like, this was an indie game. What? And so now the focus is being shifted, and we're kind of starting to wake up as gamers and realize that indie games, while they receive a lot of shit, they're putting, like you said, a lot on the line, a lot on the line for this game, this heart and soul that will either flop or will do wonders. I think like the best examples of that probably are, even though you've never gotten to play it, is like Phasmophobia, one of the
Yeah.
weirdest games ever. One that we love here on the channel, of just the game of, it's like, well, what if we hunted ghosts, right? And you bring in all these items and the ghost has the possibility to hunt and kill you. You find the ghost, you identify the ghost, and that's it. and that was the game. That was it. And it was made by one person. The models, the tools, everything at the time was made by one single person. And it was like, how is this made by one person? How are these maps made by this one person? How are the people? How are the tools? How is this all made by this one person? And it was just, it's amazing. And we're starting to see, especially at E3, we're starting to see at, correct me, what was it, the PlayStation, uh, wow, the PlayStation events, all the gaming events now, we're starting to see whole sections developed and like devoted to the indie game section, allowing them to have their spotlight. What do you have
Yeah.
to say kind of like on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more focus on indie games now, you know. And speaking about Phasmophobia
Yeah.
that y'all play, I love when y'all play that game. I crack up, man. Hearing y'all stress out and stuff over that
It
game.
is it
That's
is
kind of what
terrifying.
I was hoping. Did you ever play the Blackout Club with us?
No, that was the one game that was like the very end game. I think what happened was is you had gotten the codes for it, but the problem with the codes was you had gotten it right as I got out of boot camp, and I think
Yeah,
you
that
gotten
was it.
4 codes or you gotten 3 codes, and if it was 3 codes, it was you, Hale, and TD. If it was the fourth code, I think you gave it to Gunner, and from that point it was the four of us. Um, it was the four of you, and I didn't get the chance to. I wanted to, but I didn't get the chance to at the time.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping that the Blackout Club was gonna be more like Phasmophobia.
Hmm.
You know, not saying that it was a fun game. I had a lot of fun playing it. I had a great time playing it with everybody and stuff. It was a very interesting game. But that's what I was hoping it would be more like, just a little bit more like terror and stuff in it.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't.
And then like as much like I said, kind of how Twitch is helping it. We've helped you quite a bit. There have been some games where you're like, well, like Secret Neighbor, you were like, I really want to do this, but I do not have enough people. I was like, give me
Yeah,
time, effort, I've got you. And I think it was literally I think it was that night. I was like, I've got me, Ryan, Philip, my roommate, and then we got you, Gunner, TD, and Hale. I was like, we got enough. Let's do it. And it was like,
yeah,
okay, here we go. I was like, we'll help you. And then we streamed, brought some light on it too. And it's as much as and then like kind of divulging on like the Twitch and YouTube thing. Both feed off of each other very much. So like as much as people would say like you only do Twitch, if you look at the big Twitch people, they've got they've got YouTube videos. They've
yeah,
got some YouTube videos. Or if they're streaming on YouTube, they probably started on Twitch and YouTube offered them maybe just a little bit higher money value, but it started off somewhere and we benefit off of each other. Cuz if it's not for Twitch, the YouTube videos, these games won't be looked up. Past streams aren't posted on them. Clips, highlights, all that stuff. Both of them feed off of them extremely much. It's kind of like a parasitic relationship. Both feed off of each other just a little bit more than a lot of people would give credit for.
yeah. I'm not as familiar with the whole Twitch stuff because, like, I mean, I, I follow a handful of people, you know, and you're probably the only one that I watch like regular on a regular basis. So, I mean, I get the whole Twitch thing, you know, and everything. I mean, I got a few people that I used to watch back in the day and stuff and everything, just because, you know, support and everything. I
Mhm.
like to support people, but I mean, there's some just creative ass people out
Were
there,
you
man. That
were you here like I think it was no Monday. We played an indie game called Pico Park, and Pico Park the controls are literally left, right, and jump, and that is it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I took a sleep mask, and blindfolded myself with the sleep mask. And it was like, I'm doing this the entire stream. And I just remember Ryan going, 2 buttons? Cool, fuck my vision then. Everyone else is gonna work. And it was just like, just some of the ideas that come from both like everyone, because you look at me and you sit there and you say like I'm creative with the overlays, like the one that you guys are all looking at here if you're watching this instead of listening to it. And then to the ideas, the games, the way that we joke and everything, it's great, but it's creativity works a little bit differently, I think, for probably me and you. For me, it's I've got to find a way to be creative enough and be different to stand out and get people to watch, as well as kind of pique interest. Like there was one day I went to the dentist, felt like shit. We played marbles. It was literally a stream of just watching marbles roll down a track. And I was like, well, I can't talk because my mouth was so sore from the surgery that I was like, you guys get to listen to music. Free, non-copyrighted music, and you watch marbles roll around? Sounds fun. And that was it. And then it's, from your perspective, or at least from the way I remember it, you've got to plan it out ahead of time. And it's got to, unlike Twitch where it's kind of like you plan it a little bit, but it's improv. For you, it's we've got to plan it. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. We're going to kind of pique interest here and there and just different ideas. It's kind of a little bit more planned. I don't know, like, do you have anything else to add on that topic for the most part?
No, I mean, it is kind of a different. I mean, I think you still have to plan as well. You still have your schedule.
Oh yeah.
And all that stuff. I mean, you pretty much have your ducks in a row when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know. So I mean, I think that the people that follow you and stuff, they know what to expect with you. You know, I'm actually more sporadic with my stuff because I don't know what's going on from day to day in my life. You know, I don't. I mean, I really don't. And I don't know what I'm gonna
every
get
Monday we're
offered
going to do
game.
this, and this. Figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get offered the next game, you know, or like, I mean, right now I'm glad that I haven't had any. Because at some point I'm going to make a video and I'm going to talk about Horizon Forbidden West.
Yep.
You know, and I'm going to make a video and I'm going to talk about Elden Ring.
Yep.
Because those are the two games that I've been playing, and I have been playing like crazy. I mean, so
We've
I
also
think
we still need
them,
to
I've
do
put in over 80 hours.
Jesus.
You know, so
we
I
still
haven't
need to
beat
do
either
a video
of
for
them.
Nobody Saves the World. We still
Yeah.
need to do that too.
Yeah, which, by the way, is an indie game, but
Yes, another indie game, just saying.
yeah.
Pretty
Oh,
fun,
and there's
wasn't
an
it?
indie game that, yeah, and there's an indie game that just came out. What was it? It just came out on Game Pass, and I want to. That's another.
Is it
and
the
I
one with
wanna
the boat?
play it.
Was it the one with the boat? I think I know what one you were talking about.
No, I
No.
don't think it was the one with boats. But I want to play that game as well, and I'm like, oh my god, and that's the thing, is I completely forgot that it was coming out, and I'm like, oh my dude, you're such an idiot. Why can't you keep track of it? I mean, I used to have a notepad. This is no joke. I used to have a notepad, and I had all the games that I wanted to play, all the games that were coming out. They were all in this notepad and everything. You
Just
know, I
pulling
was
a
like,
Captain America, just crossing them out as he's like caught himself up to date with it.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna play these games. This is what I want. This is what I want to review, you know, and this is what I'm, you know, and all that stuff and everything. And now I'm just like, oh my god, I completely forgot that game was coming out. I'm such an idiot.
Well,
You know?
shit, fuck. Now we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to figure it out. And then,
Yeah.
Like,
Which, by the way, if you get a chance
yeah.
to play the Artful Escape is on Game Pass,
Hmm.
and it is absolutely phenomenal.
And it's usually like, and that's something you guys don't, a lot of people don't see is there's a lot of times where like, because we have the OG group chat, which is Blood, Hale, TD, and I online. Yeah, like that's how out of date like when we started this group chat was when line was the big thing. Discord I don't even think was a thing when we had made the group chat. Like it just wasn't even popular. And so we did that, and it was every now and then Blood will send me a message. He'll be like, "You need to check this guy out," or he'll send me a fuck, I can't a YouTube video. Like what was it? The last game that you sat there and you made a video about the forest game where it's like the crash pod and they're surviving the forest and they're building and they're making like log flumes. What was crazy is I think it was YouTube before you had even shared or like posted that video. I had gotten that video in my like Twitter feed and I had watched it. I was like, "What's this game?" And then like I looked at it on Steam and I was like, "This looks pretty cool." And then I literally went to work the next day and I saw you posted the video. I was like, "This is that game. What the fuck?" I was like, "This is some like listening in shit." And so I remember like sitting there and watching it and just getting a deeper delve on it. And it's crazy kind of how it works a little bit, but it's entertaining. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of how I feel about whenever I watch your videos on Twitch. I'm
when
like,
it
this is crazy. This is crazy, but it's entertaining.
they just did what? I don't think they were supposed to do that. Like
Yeah.
we played Dead by Daylight last night and we were trying to like make it to a 2 hour mark on stream and we had like I think 40 we had like 20 to 10 minutes left. And I was like, fuck it. Final round, everyone bum rush the
Oh,
killer. Just chase
yeah.
the killer
Was
down.
that with the one
Yeah, that was
with
with
the?
the
Well,
little kid.
y'all did several matches like that, and then the last one you got the kid, and
Mhm.
the kid was actually really cool.
An
He did
amazing
like to.
little kid.
He was getting to the point where he obviously didn't want to get off
Oh yeah, no.
because he knew you was streaming, so he kept trying to talk to you
Yeah,
and stuff. And I
and
was like,
we were
this
tired. It was
this
like,
is great.
this kid is amazing. You're great. You're amazing. But like, I'm tired. I got work at 5 in the morning. It is 11. I've gotta go. I
Yeah.
gotta go.
And he's like, yeah, but hey,
Like,
if
hey, you
you
want to
know,
do? You
yeah, if you
streaming
ever,
tomorrow? I'll tune in. It's just
I'm like,
an amazing
this
kid.
kid's great.
Reminded me a lot of Gunner in like the early years before Gunner hit
Yeah.
puberty.
But see, that's the stuff, man, and that's the stuff that people don't really want to watch nowadays. They don't want to watch nice stuff like that. Like, I mean, wholesome stuff,
Yeah.
you know? It's got, that video would have made it like 10 times better if they'd have got on the kid and been like, hey, like, F you punks and
Yeah,
all this
probably.
stuff. And y'all have been fighting and stuff. Instead, y'all had a wholesome moment with a kid that was really cool about everything, and wasn't crying or anything else about what y'all were doing, and everything was really cool, and y'all ended the night really well, and I don't know, I like those moments way more than like
Yeah.
all the other bull crap that you see out there now.
And
You know?
then kind of just like on that, like it is the goal of this channel has always been to like progress. The goal was originally like even kind of when we were doing YouTube, my goal was like let's get big enough to be like the next gaming page and then get brought out to these places and do these things. And that's kind of the goal with Camo Dude Gaming and then with Camo Nation in general was we got big enough as Camo Dude Gaming to the point where we had carried forward. We found my sergeant, who's a really amazing guy, outside of the military, of course. And talking with him, you realize like he was cool and he was doing it. So it was like, well, we'll do this and that, and just kind of teaching him the basis of it and getting him kind of caught up. He just hit affiliate, so he's getting there. He's hitting goals now. Now he's at the hard challenge that we're all at as Twitch people, which is hit partner, become bigger, and just stuff like
Yeah.
that. And the goal for the channel has always been, let's make a amazing. And I like, as much as everyone says that, like, genuinely the goal is to build a amazing gaming community in which anyone and everyone can come join the channel, express themselves, be talked to, find it as a place of relaxation, comfort, and just entertainment. Like, even when we're having our upset and anger moments, it's kind of those times where it's like, viewers, let's also get pissed at this bullshit. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, this shouldn't be happening. And we're trying to make this amazing gaming community in which everyone can come and feel themselves. And eventually the plan for Camo Dude Gaming is to get big enough that I can loosen the reins, kind of, and then you'll see, like, because the way we have it set up is we kind of have it set up like a business or like a military type structure in which I'm in charge. We've got Ryan with HR and everything else, and then we've got each admin breaking down into like a certain section of the channel, kind of helping focus on different parts. That way no one is lacking, kind of. And kind of like a business. The goal eventually is for Camo Dude Gaming and for Camo Nation to get big enough in general that everyone can come. This is our primary goal, our primary job. I can like wake up, go into either knock on Ryan's door or go into an office and be like, "Hey Ryan, tonight we've got a stream with blood. I need those videos edited." And then it's to the point where, like, right now it's primarily me. It is me at the front camera, but what I really want is I want Camo Nation to be something that can be eventually, like, kind of like the other big gaming pages that kind of inspired me, like Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth Gaming and all those, where it's a place for people to come and we have multiple different type of subjects, where it's not just gaming videos, where we can get some vlogs going, where we can get like Minecraft series, where we can get like just role play scenarios, kind of like how we used to do with the cops and Friday the 13th. Just where the main goal is to just kind of grow as a community, to expand and accept everyone in, and just be a comfort place. Just somewhere where, like, if somebody's having a hard time, they can tune in to either Camo Nation or Camo Dude Gaming, or to Camo Dude Gaming or one of our Camo Nation partners, and just find something. Find something to make the day that may have been trash or garbage just a little bit brighter. Or just joining into a stream and feeling like they're somebody with the people to the left and right. Like, this is some funny shit, kind of like when you go to the movies and everyone is there to see that movie because it is something they share interest in, that they can talk about afterwards, that they can talk to the community, find friends through the community to game with. Like, we've found countless of people that we probably never would have even thought to talk of. We have friends, like we have JJ, who's in Britain, that we wouldn't have even found or even knew was an amazing guy, because that's all the way in Britain, that we just kind of want to reach out and gain traction with. It's a big goal, but, like, to simplify it, the goal is just to build an amazing gaming community, to grow up into something that could be possibly bigger than almost anything, for the most part. Like, that is the goal eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing a very good job, of it and stuff. And I think like I mean, you got, I don't know, man. You got way more stamina than I do because the way you do the freaking 24-hour charity streams and stuff, which I think is, I
Yeah.
mean, I gotta say, man, like, it's a really cool thing that you do and stuff, and I know you do it for like the kids and all that and everything, and I think it's really cool that you do that because you don't see a whole lot of people that are trying to do that, and when they do, they basically promote themselves more
Hmm.
than anything else, you know, and you always kind of make it all about, you know, the fact that you're trying to raise money and stuff for charity
And
than anything else.
that's the thing that kind of worked with the last 24-hour stream. Is last 24-hour stream, like I think the first 12 hours we were gaining followers, and like I'm not complaining about new people joining the community because that's amazing. We want these people to join in. And if they're joining in during a 24-hour special, it's because they themselves also have like-minded goals of helping raise money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. But at the same time it was like, wow, we're not getting the money and everything. We're trying to raise it, and it's always when we do those 24-hour streams, like it's stressful because when you don't
Oh, I can
hear
tell.
anything, like you can see like on our face, like it's like, are we gonna do something? Is it gonna come in? And then you start like when you hit that 12, like building up to that 12, that halfway point, it's like we got time, and then you hit that halfway point, you're like,
Yeah.
shit, shit, shit,
You met your goal
shit.
last stream though,
We
didn't you?
our original, the first year we did it, it was myself with you. Ryan had joined in a couple times. It was primarily just myself and I. The goal was $100. We had raised $140. The second stream, we broke it into two parts because what happened was is we streamed the second 24 hours because the way Extra Life works is it's every year. So we had streamed for the 2022 year, the 2021 year. And the 2021 year was, we had set a goal for, I think it was $250, and we hit 390. And that was super early into the year. Like that was, I think, like
Yeah.
2-3 months off of the bat. And I was like, well shit, we still got 8-9 months. And so then we sat there and we tried it again, I think 2 months after that. But it failed. We got, I think, maybe 8 hours in, and I became super sick. I was pounding. I physically could not do it. Ryan had been like off of a 24-hour work shift or something, and then Beck had been like awake for a while, and she was struggling because she had also gotten sick. So then we had finally done, we did it again near the very end of the year, and we brought in motivation. It was when we hit 500, we are going to give away this. We're going to give away a cell phone case and a bag. When we hit 750, we are going to give away a T-shirt. And if we hit the grand goal of 1,000, because we had bumped, because the goal had started at 250 for 1 year, and we had bumped that all the way up to 1,000, just to shoot high, just to shoot high. Like originally the goal was 500, but then we were like, we were going for 500, and I think before we had even streamed, we were at like 420, and I was like, bump the fucking goal up again. And so we bumped the goal all the way to 1,000, and we were offering rewards for like merchandise rewards for the thing, and we I think we hit 777. We hit our 750 goal, and we got a little bit over it. And we've like talked about maybe trying again to get that last 250, but it was just we couldn't find the time. It was right near the holidays, and it became absolutely hard. We haven't discussed it this year, but this year's goal, it's a little bit hard because this year we have so much going on. like personally, and it is, we've got me, we've got Ryan getting married, we've got the income of new admins who are brand new to it, and they're starting to like kind of see it, and it's just, we've all been busy with our personal lives to the point that we haven't had the time to do it, and it kind of does sound selfish, but at the same time, like, we want to do it. The plan for it is probably still going to happen, but it may happen in the later half of the year. And at which point, I think the goal will probably be 1,000 again, but who knows? It's anything to help the kids in our idea. We do those streams strictly to help the kids. It's not for followers. It's not to gain attention. If it comes through it, good. We're glad you joined, but the main focus of those streams, those 24-hour streams, are strictly to bring light, kind of like you do light on indie games, but light on the kids' situations, and of course, focus in on that.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's a pretty cool thing that you do, man. You know, I don't. I'm. I'm at that point in my life where I couldn't do it.
it is
I'll
hard.
just say that.
It is hard. I know for the last 24-hour stream, I had somebody come over, and like some people would do 24-hour streams, and so like the big channels. So like for Extra Life, like I said, Rooster Teeth does a whole like day. They will have streams, they will have events, they will have paintball competitions, they have a wheel they spin, they have it. It's the whole company. For us, it's smaller, so it's a lot harder. So for them, it's like they can trade off. So some people show up, some people go home and sleep, some people. For us, we don't have that luxury. So for the last 24-hour stream, we had I had a friend come over like in on that Saturday, and I was like, if I start to fall asleep, wake me up. And so like there were times where like they were throwing things at me, or like I would go to like sit down on the bed, and I would start to pass out, and they would punch me in my arm to get me like snap back to focus, and then we continue. But like the plans for the channel that we have are big, and we've got plans for YouTube. We've got plans to make quality series, like we're going to do a farm sim series. We're going to do this series. But the goal for it is kind of to expand. But the question that I truly want to know is, you've kind of given your review for the people already in your like yearly review, but what, like, personally, what is the plan for you? Like, I know things are a little bit hard for you, but what are your like go-to plans? You kind of already touched on it though.
I mean, my plans right now, man, are just kind of not even set anymore. You know, I mean, I got. I don't even know. Like I know that I want to do something, a video on Horizon, and I want to do a video on Elden Ring, just because I feel like those two games are early
Yep.
year games like that, and they're game of the year contenders already.
Already.
You know, I mean, they're so good, man. They're so good. You know. But I do know that there's some games coming out this year, and some indie games as well that are coming out this year that I want to play. Um, I know, what is it? I can't even think of the freaking names of all the games I got in my head right now.
Just so many up there.
Yeah, but there are some games that I'm waiting on to hear about and stuff, to see if they're actually going to come out this year, you know?
Hmm.
And there's there's been a few things some ideas that I've wanted to do with the channel that I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know if I'm going to have the time, you know? And I just, right now, I'm going to continue to do YouTube videos,
Yeah.
whether people follow me or not, you know?
You do it for fun.
Yeah. I enjoy making videos. I just do. I enjoy editing. I wish I had more times. Uh, I was driving home yesterday afternoon and I'm listening to this podcast and I'm listening to how this podcast has progressed over years of listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of how I feel like I've been with my channel, and I would like to get back to being able to edit more
Yep.
and stuff, and throw in like more stuff with my edits and everything because I enjoy it. I actually enjoy doing that stuff, quite a bit.
There are a
And
lot
so
of times that I've watched your video and I've been like, how the fuck did he do that edit? I need to figure out how he did that fucking edit. That's a good edit.
yeah, I mean, there's things, dude. Like I said, I used to spend hours and hours and hours on editing my videos, and I mean, there's things in my videos that you know I've clipped stuff, and you would think that the video never even skipped a beat. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I
So,
I took a lot of pride. So we had Ryan and I were doing the newest Far Cry, and I took one of the videos and I was like clipping it, and like there was a clip I had done where I had to transition from one whole video to a whole nother video. But the problem was is it stopped recording, and I didn't know it stopped recording until after. So I had to go back and replay up to that point. And I remember I was like, I need to land right there. And I like you don't see it unless you know it's there, but like the guy hits the ground because I had up to that point, and then I redid it and landed in the same spot. And so you see, like, I clipped it to like right where the guy's feet kind of like vanish and then reappear, and it
hmm
clips so well. And then there's like scenes where like I'm riding a horse, and then like I jump off the horse on accident to clear an outpost, but that 20 minutes wasn't needed, so I just removed it. And instead you have like my guy like rolling and getting up, and he's in a whole different location, and you're like, what, where the fuck this come from? But it's
yeah.
just one of those like you were saying, we've progressed a lot. We've seen tricks and stuff, and we've been trying everything we can get our hands on. And I'm hopeful to see what we can do in the future. Who knows? Maybe fucking Camo Nation can have a spot when we get super big for you to pull you in. Just we'll have like your own little office where you can edit and do all your little like videos in the background and everything. Who knows? But it's definitely fun to continuously get you back, and especially coming back because I know for a longest time there was times where like all of us were so busy we just couldn't play, and now we've got times like the first thing most of our admin meetings, because we have admin meetings for the channel, is we talk about the schedule, and it's literally like the first thing would be like Wednesday blood. That's it. No game, nothing. Just it says on Wednesday. It just says blood.
Which I've rebranded Camo.
Hey,
I'm
Mister.
indie now.
Okay, blood, but I don't give a shit how long Uncle Legend. Like that's why right now your thing says Uncle Legends parentheses YouTube Indie Legends. But it has been fun to have you here and kind of talk to you like this. I definitely wanted to kind of make this film series that may, who know, even become a podcast, which will definitely, if it does, we'll have you back on it. But I wanted you to be the first one. Like I said, everything from Camo Nation to Camo Dude Gaming to Twitch to YouTube, it all started with you. Everything. If it
Well,
wasn't for like
it
that
started
push,
it started with all of us, man.
yeah,
I
it did
mean,
start with all of us. But if it
you
wasn't for
just
you doing if, because let's be honest, if you weren't doing YouTube, I wouldn't have done YouTube.
well, I mean, we you know,
We still would have been
we
doing
just
stupid shit.
yeah, we still would have been doing our silly stuff, and who knows, man. I mean, I'm just glad that we all met each other and we all had a great time doing all this stuff, man. And it was really one reason why I hijacked Wednesdays.
I just remember Blood going, like, coming back into streams and going, when are we gonna play? We gonna play Sea of Thieves? We gonna play Sea of Thieves? We gonna play Sea of Thieves? And then it was no, it was I've got this game. I was like, well, let's play that. And so we'll stream it, and then it was just consistently we're gonna play Sea of Thieves now, right? And then hopping into
Well,
Discord to
I
spam
found your
Sea of
schedule.
Thieves. Yeah, and then you found the
I found your
schedule.
schedule and it edited my picture into it.
I remember that. You literally you took it, and I just remember like being at work, looking at my phone and going, "Who the fuck posted this schedule?" And then I look at it, and I was like, "It's fucking Blood, and he's on Wednesday. What the fuck?" But it is like one of those ones where it's like, yeah, you may have taken Wednesday, but it is one of those ones, like I said, we don't check the statistics. We don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Even if we weren't or we're not streaming, I'd always put aside Wednesday. Like, even if we weren't streaming, like right now, we could have been streaming. I pushed it off and I pushed it back until later in the night so that way you and I can do this. It would always be like Wednesdays would always be for the boys, basically. And we need to get TD and we need to get Hale back in here and we need to start getting them back in the loop of playing games. And we need to tell TD, like, listen, TD, I know you're growing up, but you need to stop for, like, just Wednesdays. Wednesdays resort back to being a childish. Like, stop growing up. Stop being an adult.
Yep. He's all grown it up
He's
now.
all grown it up. But thank you so much, Blood, for joining us for this first episode of whatever this would be called. For the most part, probably like CNP or something, Camination Podcast or something, or Camination Vlog or whatever the hell I'll identify it as. But thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you were able to take time out of your day to get this because this has been something we had been talking about for quite some time. And now we're done. We've got it. We've talked about the past, we've talked about the present, and we've talked about the future. And now all that's left is for us to flourish and continue
Yeah.
doing it. And we'll definitely, if this becomes like a continuous thing, we're definitely gonna have you back on it. Who knows? Maybe we'll revamp it and we'll have video games playing in the background, or us doing stupid Sea of Thieves things in the background,
There you go.
or highlights or something. It's all brand new, but definitely thank you for this, Blood.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for letting me do this with you and stuff, and be a part of the whole gaming thing with you and stuff, man. I mean, it's awesome, and I appreciate, I always feel like that me and you have kind of always propped each other up a little bit.
Especially
It's
there've been a lot of points where both of us have had down spirals, and it's been like, nope, nope, up spiral. You gotta up spiral.
yeah,
We gotta up spiral.
yeah. So it's cool, man. It's definitely cool, and it's really awesome to see how far you've came, with your whole gaming stuff
And
and
you
everything
as
else.
well. I
So
remember just yesterday we were fighting to get to 100, and now look at you like 300. It's like crazy. And to see your videos getting watched, so many in the comments and everything, it is great to see both of us just flourishing. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to see what he does, see his indie reviews, see his old videos, see kind of the content before even I was around, all you got to do is search Indie Legends on YouTube. Blood, you have anything else? You've got, yeah, Indie Legends on YouTube, Indie Legends on Twitter. I don't think you have anything else, do you?
no, that's it.
No, it's just Twitter and YouTube. But he is prominent on those. He definitely is a cool guy. His reviews are top notch. Like, when I'm talking like these reviews are top notch, I'm talking like good enough to be like for a professional gaming news company. They're great, they're amazing, the editing is awesome. Definitely worth a follow. So definitely go check out his YouTube, Indie Legends and hit a subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button for him. If you want to see us, all you've got to do is search Camo Dude Gaming into Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're on everything, unlike Gramps over here. It is just go into social media, type Camo Dude Gaming, and then hit the respective follow, subscribe, like, transitional whatever button, and you guys can get behind the scenes content. It's amazing. If you guys want a Discord, we do have a Discord. All you have to do is search Camo Nation on Discord. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Blood, so much for joining us, and take care, ladies and gentlemen.